Hi everybody, well today I'm making delicious, wonderful baked ziti. It's one of my first dishes, folks, I ever made. Now you want to make sure, folks, you use a lot of chopped meat with this, okay? Now it's still a little bit red here, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you folks have to add into it to make a delicious, wonderful, home-style baked ziti. Put the oven on. Okay. Baked ziti was one of my first dishes that I ever actually made, you know. I've been cooking since I was very young, folks, and this is one of the first dishes I've ever made was baked ziti. Now, baked ziti requires you have to use cheese and you have to use meat, and you have to mix it together in a bowl. Okay, let me get my knife, and we're going to start working on the cheese mixture at the same time as the meat mixture is cooking. Alright, now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some ricotta cheese, several spoonfuls of ricotta cheese. Mix this together. Always, you know, keep this covered, because you know what, folks? This week I'm also going to be making lasagna, folks. Mix this. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to start adding in my seasoning into my cheese mixture. Garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and oregano. I also have some mozzarella cheese that's going to go in here also, folks. This is one of the favorite dishes I made when I was growing up. When I was 8 years old, I actually learned how to make baked ziti. Same thing with lasagna, which will be coming up this week also. In fact, the greatest thing is we're actually going to have leftovers tomorrow. Let me check the meat. Okay. 1 egg. Now, folks, when you have food like this, you don't want to waste your food. You want to make sure, folks, you have leftovers. Oh, folks, I hope I'm not coming down with a cold. That would be terrible if I get a cold. Mix it together. You want the cheese all mixed together. It looks horrible. I know what it looks like, folks. It looks gross, but this is going to be really good once it's done. Now, if it's not enough cheese, if you find it's a little bit too eggy, which right now we are, get this off the fork. Add just a little bit more cheese in. You don't need a lot of avocado cheese, just a little bit more. It'll give it that really good cheesy taste. Now the rest is going to go to something else that I'm going to make. Here we go. Here we go. This is what you want to see. Okay. Put this over here. I need to check my meat mixture because we have to see how that's coming along. Oh, it's coming along great. Mix it together. Make sure your meat is brown, folks. It's got to be brown. Okay. Throw this out. Lasagna is going to go into this huge casserole dish. Once we're ready to put it in, but we're not ready yet to do that yet. Because I'm still getting my meat mixture done. Alright, here we go. Now, I have chopped meat. You can use all beef, it can be 80%, folks. It really doesn't matter, folks, okay? Now, the next thing I have to do is I have to add in my seasonings. Garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and oregano. And you can put some salt in. You can put a lot of delicious wonderful seasoning in here, folks. Here we go. Now, the next thing I have to do is grab my sauce. I like a sweet sauce when it comes to making Italian dishes. Here we go. This is going to go in the meat mixture. I'm going to mix the meat mixture up, and then we're going to put more sauce in. That's not enough. We can add some more in. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Mix. Alright, now what we're going to do is I'm going to add a dash of sugar. Here we go. Just a little dash of sugar. I have a thing about adding sugar to my Italian dishes. That's why they came out so wonderful. Alright, we're going to put this on the stove, and we're going to let this cook for a few minutes. If we want to simmer everything together, then we'll go to the next step. Okay, We're back, folks. Now, in the bowl, we're going to put the baked ziti. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. See? Now, the next thing I want to do is, even with the baked ziti, is I need to add some salt. Why I want to add the salt to the baked ziti? It gives the ziti flavor. Here we go. Now, the next thing I have to do is grab my meat mixer and cheese mixture. I'm going to put in my meat mixture. That's going in right now. Here we go. Mix this together. And one more thing is the cheese mixture. Mix, 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 mix. You want it to be very meaty. You want it to be very cheesy, folks, okay? Here we go. Now, the next thing is I have a casserole dish, folks, as you can see. Okay, now what I want to do now is I want to make sure in my casserole dish I put tomato sauce on the bottom. There's a reason for this, folks. Spread it. Now we're going to put the next thing in, the ziti. Here we go. Here we go. Typical old-fashioned Italian meal that I actually learned to cook on as a little girl. See? Now, the next thing is going to be adding in more Italian seasoning. Garlic, Italian seasoning, oregano. Top that with tomato sauce. Not done yet, folks. Not done yet. I got one more thing I have to add in, and that's my mozzarella cheese. You want to have good mozzarella cheese on the top, folks. You have not lived, you have baked ziti, but you want it nice and cheesy. Okay. Now what I want to do now is I'm going to grab my aluminum foil. Looks like we're getting low on, you know why we're getting low on it, folks? Because we just celebrated Thanksgiving. Okay. Put this over here. Now what I want to do now is grab a cookie sheet. Now there's a reason for that. You don't want it splattered, you don't want it all over the oven. It's really hard to clean it up. Now, we're going to pop this in the oven and I'm going to bake this for about a good 20 minutes. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, folks, we're back again. Wonderful, delicious, yummy, delicious baked ziti that I actually learned to make when I was 8 years old. Look how beautiful it came out. Now I'm going to get it out of my plate. Let's pull this over here so I don't actually burn myself. It's very hot, folks, so be careful. I'm going to show it to you, the finished product, in 1 minute. Okay. Gotta be careful. Many times in the kitchen you can burn yourself. It's not hard to do. Okay, now we're gonna get it all out. Oh gosh, it looks so good. Oh. Okay. And here we have delicious, wonderful baked ziti. Look how delicious it looks. Oh, I cannot wait to have it. You want to make sure you put enough cheese in as well as meat. From Deborah's Home Country Kitchen, have a great day. Please subscribe to my wonderful YouTube channel.